Here's Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Good afternoon, Mr. Diamond.
Oh, afternoon, Ed.
Have a good lunch, Mr. Diamond?
Too early to tell.
Hey, you must shave with a dull razor. You got a scratch on your face.
I use a rake.
Here's your floor, Mr. Diamond.
Thanks, Ed. Well, customers. Good afternoon, gentlemen. What can I do for...
Oh, that was nifty, Ziggy. Is that Diamond?
Yeah, Chino. That's him.
Pick him up and drag him over to the chair, Ziggy.
Sure thing, Chino. He's really out.
Yeah. See if you can bring him around. Be a shame if he missed anything.
Chino, would you mind holding my ash can handle? It might break his jaw.
A pleasure, Ziggy.
Diamond. Diamond. He looks like he ain't gonna make it. Maybe you slapped him too hard.
You hurt me, Ziggy. You know how careful I am. Here, try to spit your water.
I felt like I was lying in the middle of a crowded sink and someone had piled all the dishes on my head. They turned on the faucet and I floated up with a dirty coffee cup and took a look around. I treaded water and squinted through my dewy eyelids at two of the ugliest dishwashers I'd ever seen.
He's twitching.
Oh.
See, Ziggy, he's just lazy. Diamond, let us know when things start making sense.
Oh, that's a dirty trick.
Oh, he's talking screwy.
What's a dirty trick, Diamond?
I'm stuck in the drain.
I think you hit him too hard. He's liable to be talking like that from now on.
Give it time. Diamond, you'll pull yourself out.
Yeah. How did you monkeys get in here anyway?
He's back. Now go to work, Ziggy, but keep him with us.
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh! That's enough, Ziggy. Can you hear me, Diamond?
He don't like it. He's gonna be hard to get along with.
Belt him across the ears. He'll listen. Hear me now?
He's nodding his head. I guess he wants to keep his mouth shut so the teeth don't fall out.
Fine. Now listen, Diamond. When you get a call from a Mr. Barton, turn down the job. Understand? Ziggy, see if he's tuned in.
Oh. Yeah, Chino. He says now he's got his shirt on.
Remember, Mr. Barton, you don't want to work for him. Think he gets it?
Sure, Chino, but he looks tired from the strain.
Oh, then put him to sleep, Ziggy.
Nighty-night time.
He didn't have to say nighty-night. It was only 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He tapped me once more with a galvanized sleeping pill and tucked me away for a rest. The next thing I knew, a pair of gray suede gloves were patting my sore face. Maybe he didn't want to leave any fingerprints on my bruises.
Mr. Diamond, can you hear me?
Oh, you know, this can get monotonous. Go away.
Should I call the police, Mr. Diamond?
What? I was expecting uglier company.
Could you sit up? I'm getting some of your blood on my shoes.
That's tough. I'll turn it off. I'll bet your name's Barton.
Why, that's right. How did you know?
I'm lucky. Now get out of here.
But I want to talk to you.
I just had one long conversation, but it was too one-sided. Go on. My health is doubtful, but it's fun to have it around for company.
Maybe $500 would pick you up?
It might, for a while, but I don't like to waste that kind of money on funerals.
$750?
So they line the coffin with velvet.
1,000.
You're begging to make a short life sound practical.
If you do the job successfully, there'll be another 1,000.
You just bought yourself a corpse. Let me wash up. Talk some more. I can hear you.
It's my son, Roger. He thinks he killed a man.
He thinks. What do you want me to do? Find out for sure so I can brag about it?
Ever heard of a John Alter?
Sure. Walt Levinson sent him up 5 years ago on a manslaughter rap.
Well, he doesn't like it up there, and he'd like to get out.
I don't blame him. What's this got to do with your son?
I'm chairman of the parole board. Oh, you look much better now, Mr. Diamond. I can't stand the sight of blood.
It doesn't bother me. It happens every week. So, you're the chairman of the parole board.
Yes, some of Alter's friends promised to keep quiet about my son if I let Alter go free when he comes up before the board next week.
And you think maybe your son was framed?
Yes, about a month ago, he met a girl in Florida. Her name is Lenore Brown, and she's a friend of Alter's.
How did they spring the frame?
I beg your pardon?
You must associate with a higher type thug. Spring the frame. Made it look like your son killed somebody.
Oh. Well, when Roger, that's my son, went to pick up the Lenore girl at her apartment, he found her struggling with some man.
That happens.
It looked like he was trying to kill her. There was a gun on the floor, and she called to Roger for help. He picked up the gun and shot the man. She told Roger he had killed him and that he must get out. When we went back, they were both gone. About a month later, some of Alter's friends got in touch with me.
Oh, and they forget about the killing if you let Alter out of Sing Sing.
That's right.
I don't remember reading anything about it in the papers.
Well, you're the first one outside of Alter and his friend who know anything about it. You see, they say they're hiding the corpus delicti, so there was no report of the murder.
Keeping a stiff handy isn't that easy. Why didn't you call the law?
If my son did kill this man, that's the first thing I intend doing. But I have a feeling this man is not dead.
Oh, you think maybe they staged the killing? Put blanks in the gun, and after your son beat it, the stiff walked out under his own steam?
That's what I want you to find out. If my son is innocent, I want you to bring the parties responsible to justice.
Amen.
Here's a check for $1,000. If you find the girl and prove my son innocent, there'll be another 1,000 in your pocket.
I'll throw up the holes. Well, thanks, Mr. Barton. I'll start right away.
Goodbye, Mr. Diamond. You can reach me at the Wentworth Hotel. I'm staying there until this matter gets cleared up.
I won't get in touch with you unless I find something. The guys who worked me over are pretty set in their ways, and there's no sense in you tripping over a lot of dead bodies. I looked at the $1,000 check and thought about the beating the two polite gunsels had given me. It was a toss-up. If I'd spent the $1,000 like I knew I would, I'd be dead anyway. The two goons were probably still hanging around my building, and if they spotted me, they'd guess I'd taken the job. When I get more than $10 in my pocket, I smile all over. I went out the back way and through the alley. Had to start somewhere, so I headed for the 5th Precinct Police Station. When you're looking for a killer, homicide's got all the road maps on murder. An old friend and ex-partner was in charge. The men who worked the detail called him Lieutenant Levinson, but he had a couple of friends who still called him Walt. I was one of them. You earn that right when you work for a guy for 6 years. After I left the force, Walt started doing a solo, but he now had a sergeant who stumbled around after him. His name was Otis, and he had the biggest feet in the state of New York. Every time he took off his shoes, I wanted to grab a champagne bottle and launch them. I don't think he liked me. When I walked in, his face always looked like an advertisement for a sour stomach.
Well, Richard Diamond, private detective.
Well, Sergeant Otis, homicide's answer to the missing link.
What was that last word?
Well, you're half safe. I said link. Walt in?
Yeah. You turn the knob and you push.
Why don't you get that uniform cleaned? Some dad's going to get up and walk to the station without you.
Well, hello, Rick. If you got... Yeah. You must get tired changing your face every day. Somebody shove you around again?
Been catching up on my patty cake, Walt. Tell me, did you ever know a bit of fluff named Lenore Brown?
Sure, John Alder's expense account. Used to hold hands before I sent him up.
Know where I can find it?
Alder's still got her staked out. When he leaves stir, he's going to come back and dig up the claim. You better forget about it. She's got the antidote for lonely nights, but some of Alder's boys are protecting her.
I know, yeah. They gave me a pep talk this afternoon.
And then listen to him. It's better watching the game from the bench.
You never can tell. I might make a score.
Well, you're outweighed, outclassed, and liable to be outlived. She used to work at the Black Swan in Florida. I heard Alder was trying to get a parole, and she came to New York to be close to him.
Any lying on her here in town?
No, but if she's seeing Alder, you might spot her on a visitor's day. And now, look, Rick, why don't you stop chasing two-bit thugs and come back on the force? I never had ulcers when we were working together.
You know how I feel about that, Walt. I'm a restless guy. Sometimes I like to sleep late in the morning.
Okay, Rick. Want me to call the warden and tell him you're coming?
Yeah, thanks, Walt. Take it easy.
Bye, Rick. Be a good boy.
Yes, Paul?
Mr. Richard Diamond to see you, Warden.
Oh, send him in.
You can go on in, Mr. Diamond.
Thanks, Paul.
Well, Rick, how are you? It's been a long time.
I know a lot of guys who wouldn't like to hear that, Warden. How are you, Jim?
First rate. What's on your mind?
I hear Johnny Alter's been having company. I'd like to take a look at her.
Oh, Miss Brown. Well, I can't blame you.
I just want to spot her and see where she goes.
You can't miss. If she walked through the yard, there'd be a jailbreak tomorrow.
What time are visiting hours?
Well, if she's seeing Alter today, she should be downstairs right now. Pardon me a second.
Yes, Warden.
Paul, has Lenore Brown come in today?
Yes, she has, Warden. She's in seeing Alter right now.
Thanks, Paul. She's downstairs, Rick. Like to take a look?
Yeah.
I'll have Paul take you down. On second thought, I'll go myself. There she is, sitting at the end table talking to Alder.
Oh. Now I know why Alter needs a lot of money. She's wearing enough mink to carpet Radio City.
You should get a load of her on a warm day.
Coat doesn't stop me. She'd show up, even if she's wearing a tent. How long has she got with Alder?
About another 5 minutes.
Warden, maybe I'll let you put me away for a couple of years. With something like that to look forward to on Visitor's Day, I might go for the change.
Well, you'd get tired of just talking. Think what you could do on the outside.
Yeah, I am, but it would probably send me right back up here.
You want to stick around till she's through talking?
Thanks, Jim. I'll wait in front till she comes out. I hung around by the big gray buildings until she came out. She walked over to a long white convertible and got in. Now I know what the guy meant when he wrote, "Ask the man who owns one." I decided to let her buy me a new fuse, and I walked over to the car. Going to town?
Oh? Back up 3 feet and I'll let you know.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Your tailor couldn't do all of that.
Thanks.
Get in. Visiting?
Yeah, the warden's an old friend.
How many years did you know him?
Baby. I've been going home every night all my life.
Every night?
Well, almost.
What do you do with the almost?
Depends. Everybody likes something different.
You must get tired thinking up new ideas.
Oh, I don't think much. It's more fun being surprised. Hey, what are you stopping for? We just got started.
Surprise?
Oh, yeah. And the nickel-plated one. Look, baby, you don't have to pull a gun. If I'm getting fresh, I'll get out and walk.
You'll sit right there, Diamond.
Oh, name dropper.
Mm-hmm.
Expecting company?
Mm-hmm, and you've met them before, honey.
That's nice. I wouldn't want you to get stuck with the introductions. That's your friends coming along in that car?
It should be. Now hold real still. They'll only shoot you this time.
Sometimes you're lucky. When a dame's got a gun on you, you don't stand much of a chance unless she's got her mind on something else. This one did. And when she looked up in the rearview mirror to make sure it was her boys, I tagged her. My 2 playmates were just pulling up in the green sedan when I went out of the car like a dry transmission.
There he is. He's slugging up. Nail it.
He let go just as I dived off the side of the road and hit the center embankment. I rolled at the bottom and came up looking like an exhibit for smallpox.
He's down the hill. Go get him, Ziggy.
There was a line of trees just off to the right, and I got to them just as Ziggy tried again. He needed a rifle. I was running through the trees then, and I could hear Ziggy somewhere behind me falling all over himself. I pulled my gun and thought about waiting for him. I could give him so many holes he'd whistle in a high wind, but I had another idea. I stopped and listened.
He's around here somewhere. Well, come on. We'll spread out.
That tore it right down the middle. They were somewhere behind me, and both of them were looking.
I got him. Oh, my God. Get off of me, you million head. Oh, I got on a new suit. Oh, my deepest apologies, Gino. I thought you was Diamond.
Can't you tell the difference, Ziggy? He's got on a blue suit.
Oh, I'm a little colorblind.
Now let's find Diamond.
They started hunting again, and I cut off to my left and headed back to the highway. I reached the hill that sloped down from the highway, and I went up fast. The cars were about 100 yards down the road, and I used my last lung getting there. Lenore was still out, just like I'd left her when I put her to sleep. I went over to the Gunsel's car and lifted the hood. Chino and Ziggy could apologize all night while they looked for a new distributor. I went back to the white convertible with the unconscious nylons and got in. I noticed something lying on the seat. It was her purse, and she didn't wake up when I grabbed it. Doing a rummage job at 80 miles an hour isn't easy. But there wasn't much of interest anyway, just a little black book. I needed a gimmick, so I stuck it in my pocket. I put the purse back on the seat just as she started coming around.
Oh.
Wow, now that's it, baby. Sit up and look at the pretty scenery.
How did you get here? Where's Ziggy and Chino?
Playing Peter Pan. Jaw hurt?
Yes, you heal.
Play rough and you get hurt. Where do I take you?
My apartment, I guess. You're going to ask a lot of questions, and I don't talk much. We might as well figure out something to fill in the lull.
I drove to her place on East 51st and walked into the door. She looked at me like a fat woman eyeing a French pastry, and her mouth slipped down to her shoelaces when I gave her a peck on the cheek and left her standing with an old front doorknob in her hand. I knew she wasn't going to spill anything, even if I got her drunk. Besides, she could probably drink Tony Galento under the table and still be sober enough to play hopscotch. I went back to the office and took out her little black book. There were a lot of names, and some of them I knew. Chino, and after it, likes his work. And Ziggy, and after his name, has own gun. Yeah, Richard Diamond, too. I never did figure out what the 3 stars were for. I'd forgotten all about my date with Helen when the phone rang. Yeah?
Hello, Rick. Fong call Mr. Richard Diamond to the phone chop. He's got a date and she doesn't like being stood up.
Hello, Helen.
Hi. What was all that about? Forget you had a date with me?
Yeah, I did. And I'm sorry, baby, but right now I'm being chased like a hopped-up fox, and I haven't had time to curl up and relax.
You're impossible.
I know it. Want your sorority pen back?
Well, I'll make up my mind when you get here.
I'll give you my Lone Ranger magic decoder.
You fool.
Are we still going steady?
Oh, yes. Rick, when am I going to see you?
Oh, honey, right now I got some reading to do. Why don't you go to a movie? Little Women Past the Senses. I'll be over later.
I'll probably end up marrying an usher. Don't be too late, Rick.
I won't. Besides, we get along better early in the morning.
Bye.
Bye, baby. I sat there for a minute thinking about Helen Asher and wondering why I hadn't learned how to butter my bread. She was everything a guy should want. $10 million playing multiplication in a fat trust fund. A figure that would snarl of any quiet intersection, and a mind that would give a master's degree in inferiority complex. Diamond, you fool, you. Well, Lenore Brown's little black book was a poor substitute for an evening with Helen, but 3 items put me in second gear. They weren't hard to find. Take out all the men's names, and there they were, 3 addresses. One was in the village, another in Harlem, and the last was somewhere in Chinatown. All of them were a setup for a dead man who wanted to make himself scarce. I wanted to talk with Barton before I started hunting, so I called the Wentworth.
Wentworth Hotel.
Mr. Barton, please.
Yes, sir. I'll ring him.
Hello?
Mr. Barton, this is Diamond.
Oh, yes, Diamond. Did you find out anything yet?
Not yet, but tell me, did your son tell you what his victim looked like?
Why, yes. He said he was a dark man with a scar from his nose to his chin. He said he'd never forget it.
Oh, well, thanks. Maybe I'll call you tomorrow.
I hope you clear this thing up in a hurry.
So do I. I want to get my nerves untangled. I took the easy address first. grabbed a cab, and 20 minutes later I was walking down the steps of a little dive on the east side of Greenwich Village. It was a shabby little place, and the customers had enough long hair to give a two-pay deal of the DTs. A fat waiter walked over and eyed my clean shirt. He was wearing an apron that looked like he'd made the salad on it. He was swell.
You wanted something, Mac?
Yeah, a pound of egg noodles. Just sweep them up off the floor. Do you know anyone named Lenore?
Lenore. Oh, sure, Lenore Brown. Hey, she comes in here about once a week, listens to the kid at the piano. Now, why would a classy dame like that go out with him? He don't play the piano so good.
You ever see a guy with her? Dark man with a scar from his nose to his chin?
No, she always does a single.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Hey, you still want those noodles?
I walked out, got back in the cab, and marked off Greenwich Village in the little black book. The second address was on the fringe of Harlem, the Hill, they call it. The night was black, and the fog had rolled in off the East River and staked out a claim all the way to Lenox Avenue. As I walked up to the old brownstone, my nerves started screaming SOS. I stopped cold and looked down at two gleaming eyes, like two pieces of polished glass shining in the glare of the dim street lamp. As I got used to the darkness, I could make him out. He was a big, white, battle-scarred bulldog, and he had some ideas of his own. He started shuffling in slowly, jerking back his lips and showing a row of white teeth.
Hold it, Lucifer.
I hadn't heard him come out on the porch. He was a big man wearing an off-white undershirt, and from what I could see, he looked meaner than his dog. The animal stopped, but he kept facing me, showing off his toothpaste smile.
He won't hurt you, mister, unless I tell him to.
I'll think about it for a while. I'm a poor substitute for horse meat.
What do you want?
Do you know a Lenore Brown?
You a cop?
Shamus.
Beat it, Lucifer.
Thanks, pal. I couldn't hold my breath much longer.
You can come up on the porch. You're looking for Lenore Brown, huh?
Yeah, know her?
I met her. My wife works for her.
Is your wife in?
Yeah. Esther!
Yeah?
Come here. Some private dick wants to talk to you. She's Miss Brown's private maid.
Yeah.
Your husband tells me you work for Miss Brown.
Yeah, what's she done?
She got many friends?
Men friends.
Yeah. You know a dark man with a scar?
Oh, sure, I know lots of them.
What are you talking about, woman?
Oh, I meant someone who Miss Brown knows.
What did you mean by that, mister?
Look, I really don't know anybody with a scar. Now you better beat it.
Yeah. Get moving. And I want to talk to you, woman. Get in there.
Yes, honey.
I knew she was going to get bruised, but he looked rough enough to cut my windpipe, and I wanted someplace to pour my coffee down in the morning. So I got out of there fast and headed for the last address in the little black book. The place was on one of those narrow, dark streets. It was so quiet you could hear yourself change your mind. A sign above the door read Tangy, so I pushed it open and went in. If I didn't find a man with a scar here, I was out on strikes. It was a little restaurant on the bottom floor of a two-story building. A quiet waiter slipped up and showed me to a booth. He shoved a menu in my hand and disappeared before I could ask him anything. The place was empty except for an old couple sitting near the door. The waiter said something to them, and they looked quickly over at me, and then they left in a hurry. The room was completely empty now. Even the waiter had disappeared. I looked up at a flight of stairs at the far end of the room. A pair of very healthy ankles came into view, and they were holding up a pair of legs that ran my blood pressure up to 190 again. I eased my gun out and held it under the table. Lenore turned the corner and started down toward my booth like a loose snake in a rabbit pen.
Mind if I sit down?
It's your party.
Shame on you. Don't you know it's not nice to pilfer a lady's handbag? Now, Mama will have to thank.
Looks like the last address paid off.
If you're buying shrouds, it did.
Where's the guy that young Barton was supposed to have killed?
Upstairs. But he's very unsociable. Hates long conversations.
I only need a couple of lines.
He can't even do that. He likes to keep on breathing.
Old man Barton figures Alter framed his son. He's not going to let your boyfriend out of Sing Sing until he finds a man with a scar.
Think he can do better than you did?
Well, I found him.
Was it worth dying for?
I don't know. I can tell you better after I talk to him.
Mama's going to have to spank sooner than she expected. Come in, boys.
Well, look who's here. Are Mama's two big idiots out collecting blood again? Where are your buckets?
Oh, he's bitter. Present!
You've met Chino and Ziggy before, haven't you?
Yeah, on the end of a fist.
They want to show you the town.
I know the beat.
I'll bet you've never seen it from the bottom of the East River.
No, but if you'll put on a bathing suit, I might buy the idea.
Too bad we'll never make the beach together. I'd like to show you the sights. Boys, you better help Mr. Diamond out of the booth. I think he's stuck. You know how it is. The boys like to keep moving.
So do I. I shot once and caught Ziggy in the stomach, and I dumped the table over on Chino. He grabbed like he was going to waltz with it. I didn't even have to get up. I just shot him through the cover shot. Lenore was out of the booth fast and running for the stairs.
Look out, Tony, look out!
I caught up with her at the foot of the stairs, and as she started up, I saw him, standing on the upper landing, scar and all meaning gun in his hand. He missed me, but nailed her halfway up. She spun around and fell all over me. But I point a gun pretty good from a prone position. You should have kept your nose up, mister. A bad landing washes you out. I called Lieutenant Levinson, squared myself. Then homicide came down and cleaned things up. They were all dead, and I figured I never would reach the beach anyway. I phoned Barton, who took his son down to the morgue to look over the night's take. Young Barton identified the man with the scars, the one he thought he'd killed. They gave me the notch, and I made another call. This time to a pair of silk pajamas with an understanding heart. It was late, but I was hungry.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Diamond. Isn't it rather late to be calling?
You know something? You're right, Francis. It's 2 a.m. Time for all good butlers to be Betty by.
Miss Helen is in the library, but I'm not sure whether she wants to see you.
Well, you just run along and get some sleep. I'll find out and let you know.
Very good, sir. Confidentially, she's a little peeved.
Look.
Chin up, Mr. Diamond.
Francis, if she gets tough with me, I'll knock her teeth out.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Francis, is that who I think it was? Oh.
Hi.
The food was cold a long time ago.
So's my date. I'm sorry, honey.
Oh, that's all right.
The fire's almost burned down.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning, Mr. Diamond. I've sat through 2 features of Tom and Jerry and the 4th chapter of Batman, Hots of Freight.
Come on, don't scold, baby.
I haven't in weeks, but I've been rehearsing this for the past 2 hours, and you're going to listen. And that's another thing. You never play when I want you to. Only when I've got you on the carpet.
That sounds like fun.
Now, stop being glib. If you think for 1 minute you can charm me and...
Out of your face with the sunshine, put on a great big smile.
Now, stop that and listen to me.
Okay, I'll shut up. Well, go on.
Oh, now you made me forget what I was going to say.
Well, if you can't remember, honey, hold a good thought. It's a big, wide, wonderful world you live in. When you're in love, you're a master. Of all you survey, you're a gay Santa Claus.
I just remembered.
Too late now, honey, I'm rolling. There's a brave new star-spangled sky above you. When you're in love, you're a hero, a Nero, Apollo, the Wizard of Oz.
Oh, Rick, how do you do it?
You've a kingdom, power and glory.
Richard Diamond, starring Dick Powell, was previously released over the National Broadcasting Company for listeners in the United States, and has been re-released to you men and women overseas by the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
makers of Camel cigarettes present Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. Not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels. That's what noted throat specialists reported in a coast-to-coast test of hundreds of people who smoked only Camels for 30 days.
Make your own 30-day Camel mildness test, the sensible, thorough cigarette test, and see why more people smoke Camels than any other cigarette. Here transcribed is Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
Diamond Detective Agency. Put up or shut up.
Hi.
Oh, hi, Helen.
You busy?
Oh, like a hibernating bear.
No business?
I've seen more action in a bankrupt turtle farm.
Oh, things can't be that bad.
I'm even getting an echo in here.
Rick.
Really? Listen. Hello?
Hello?
See?
Rick, was that really an echo?
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, my girl wants to know if you're really an echo.
I beg your pardon.
Honey, I'll call you back. This echo has a man with it.
Bye.
Bye. Can I help you, sir?
I am looking for Mr. Richard Diamond.
Why?
Now, that's an extremely unique question. I want to sell him 10 tons of pig iron.
Well, I'm very sorry, but I made a New Year's resolution that I wouldn't build another battleship until I paid up my bill at the automat.
My name is Barr, David Barr. Now, if you'll stop talking like a television comedian, I would like to discuss a business arrangement.
Well, my name is Diamond, Richard Diamond. And if you're rolling in money, I'd be very happy to discuss any arrangement you could dream up.
How much do you charge, Mr. Diamond?
Well, that depends. Anything short of a felony, $100 a day in expenses.
How earthy?
Well, it keeps my ribs from showing.
Have you ever heard of me, Mr. Diamond?
Well, I have a feeling this may lose me a quick sale, but very frankly, Mr. Barr...
No matter, I can see by your clothes that your wardrobe must be fashioned exclusively by popular mechanics.
No. Well, okay, we've kicked it around. It's been fun, but I'm beginning to get winded. What do you want to see me for, Mr. Barr?
I want you to guard my store.
Store?
Yes, I have the most fashionable men's haberdashery and tailoring business on Madison Avenue.
And you want it guarded?
Perhaps I should give you some background concerning the disgusting incidents that led me to your,
office.
For the lack of a more sordid description, yes, office.
I'm sure the whole background must be very disgusting.
2 nights ago, my shop was vandalized.
Somebody broke in and swiped something.
Yes. To be exact, 1 blue serge suit.
1 suit?
One. I reported the incident to the police, and they summed it up with the same brilliant observation as you. To quote the sergeant, somebody broke in and swiped something.
Now, look, Mr. Barr, don't tell me you want me to find that blue suit.
No, this was not the end of the trouble, Mr. Diamond.
Somebody lifted a hand-painted tie, maybe?
Naturally, my employees were questioned, and the following day the police returned to their little precinct, satisfied that somebody had merely...
busted in and swiped something.
Yes. Well, the following night, my shop was again the object of vicious vandalizing. This time, the party, or parties responsible, took every foot of blue serge material in the shop.
Oh, now, wait a minute. First, somebody breaks in and takes 1 blue serge suit. The next night, all the blue serge material in the store is stolen. What's the matter? Did you run out of suits?
All my suits are custom tailored, Mr. Diamond.
Oh.
My stock of finished merchandise is generally sparse. We complete only 2 or 3 suits a day. The missing blue serge was hanging with 2 other suits. The property, of course, of one of my best customers.
And the thief didn't touch the other 2 suits?
No. And on the following night, the night of the second burglary, a gray flannel was left untouched.
The suit and the cloth stolen were both blue serge?
Correct. Naturally, I had to order another stock of the same material. It's in the shop now, and I should not be able to sleep a wink unless I was certain that it was safe.
And you want me to sit up with the blue serge?
Exactly. I am considerably interested in finding the motive behind these unusual robberies.
Oh, well, this is certainly a first in my life. I've sat up with a lot of things, but never 15 yards of blue serge. The illustrious Mr. Barr handed me a $100 retainer, ran a white glove over the top of my desk like an inspecting general, made an observation on the pursuit of happiness, and went out of my office faster than a bad molar at a dentist convention. We had agreed to meet at his shop at 6 o'clock that evening. So I pasted the $100 bill to my instep, put the instep up on the desk, crossed the other instep over it, leaned back and dozed off, secure in the knowledge that money would never go to my head. Yeah?
Mr. Diamond, this is Mr. Barr.
Oh, yeah. Well, it isn't 6, is it?
It's 4:35. Mr. Diamond, am I correct in assuming that the moment you grabbed that $100, you became a member of my employ?
Well, you're correct. $100 worth.
Then please come immediately to number 6 Park Avenue. Something's happened, and I feel a complete breakdown coming on.
Oh, come in, come in.
Oh, what's happened?
Oh, if this keeps up, I may be living on dream pills. I've been eating them like peanuts.
Well, maybe if you gave me a hint.
I have been robbed.
Well, didn't we go through this thing in
Here, I've been robbed here in my apartment.
What?
I came home, took a bath, went in to get dressed, opened my wardrobe, and to my complete horror, found 3. My only 3 blue serge suits were missing.
Oh, no.
A potent reaction. Oh, no. Now, why didn't I think of that?
I can't imagine. It's certainly simple enough.
We'll spend a whole day insulting each other after you solve this mystery. So for now, strain yourself and try looking like a detective with a $100 retainer in his pocket.
Well, it's not in my pocket. But if we go into that, I'll leave myself wide open. Show me your wardrobe. Mr. Barr's apartment was as overdone as he was. I stepped down into the living room and found myself wading through a carpet that called for a dog sled to negotiate it. The smell of incense made me keep looking back over my shoulder for the dancing girls. He led the way into a bedroom that George Washington wouldn't have slept in without an armed guard and opened his wardrobe. 2 dozen $300 suits stretched from one end of the closet to the other, and there was enough material in that wardrobe to drive a frustrated moth into a complete fit.
They were hanging right here in this space.
You sure they couldn't be at the cleaners?
They were here this morning.
Now, what's that on the bed? That's a blue serge suit.
Mr. Diamond, that is the suit I was wearing when I came into your office.
No, well, I was so busy looking at your money,
Well, what is to be done?
Well, I got to admit it's sure a strange one.
You are constantly coming up with the most astute observations.
Oh? Well, wait till I get around to your personality.
You'd really be a likable fella, Diamond, if I could bring myself to look at you.
Oh, I'm not so bad. Think of what you must go through shaving every morning.
Oh, really, Diamond? What do you think is behind this ridiculous situation?
Very honestly, I don't know. Except the obvious. Somebody wants your blue serge suits and all the blue serge material you've got.
That blue serge on the bed is the last one I've got. Do you think this could be some kind of a practical joke?
Not very. It could get somebody 10 years.
Well, have you got any ideas at all?
Yes, I have. Take that last blue serge and hide it. I'll sit in your store tonight and see that the new material you ordered doesn't get lifted.
You take the suit, Mr. Diamond. You're being paid to protect it.
Okay.
And remember, it's new. Brand new. It would cost you $300 to duplicate it. So for the sake of your home and kiddies, don't stuff your big shoulders into it.
He gave me the key to his store and told me how to shut off the burglar alarm. He gave me the phone number where I could reach him that evening in case something happened, draped the blue suit over my arm, and hurried me out of the room like he was getting rid of a plague victim. I grabbed a cab, and 10 minutes later, I was unlocking the door to my apartment. I started to toss Mr. Barr's suit on the bed, but thought better of it, so I went to the closet, opened the door, and reached for a hanger. Now, unlike Mr. Barr's wardrobe, I generally sport a variety of items. A couple of sport coats, a few old Letterman sweaters to fill up the space, 4 pair of slacks, and usually, mind you, I say usually, 2 suits. One of which I was wearing at the moment. The other was a blue serge. Was right, because where my blue serge suit once was, it wasn't. That did it. First, Bar loses everything in sight that happens to be Blue Serge. Then I come home and find that one of the 2 suits I had to my name had been swiped. I burned. Bar could get dozens of suits and use them for bath mats when he got tired of wearing them. Me, I was going to have to sew sleeves on the bath mats. I called Bar at home, but he'd left. I thought about calling him at the number he had given me, but decided against it. I sat down to try and figure it out. But a half a dozen camels later, I was still facing a big fat zero. One thing was sure. I had Mr. Barr's last Blue Serge suit, and nobody was going to get it away from me. Big shoulders or not, I put it on and headed for Barr's shop on Madison Avenue. I never made it. Hold it. Hey, what is this? Well, I'm only considering it because he's got a gun in my back.
Walked under that sedan by the curb.
Well, I get car sick.
You heard him.
Oh, fellas, I haven't been well. Doctor recommends lots of walking. Told me to stay away from cars.
Move!
Oh, now look.
You heard him.
Yeah, I heard him. Would I be nosy if I asked?
Yeah, you would be very nosy.
How about you, friend?
You heard him.
Get in the back.
Look, can I interest you boys in a deal? My secret decoder and my ray gun, if you'll only... They were both big boys, and they both had big guns. One of them slugged me with one of the big guns, and my head swelled up to match the whole ugly situation. I went down and out faster than a left fielder trying to steal home with a Charlie horse, and they rolled me into the car. We drove for a long time, me lying on the floor of the back seat, trying to bring myself back to a conscious way of thinking. Finally, I snapped out of it, and they let me sit up and take a look around. We were on a lonely stretch of road, and although the car was green, not black, and didn't look anything like a hearse, I had a gloomy feeling that we were heading for a funeral.
Get out.
Now look.
You heard him.
Okay. Look, fellas, the least you can do is tell me...
Get out of that suit.
Get out of the suit?
You heard him.
Take it off. Take it off quick.
Well, okay. Would you mind turning your backs?
You want to get belted again?
No. I'll take it off.
Take the coat, Hunts.
Yeah, Hunts. Here.
Now the pants. Come on.
Oh, all right. But it's cold. I'm getting goosebumps.
Hand him the pants.
Now you are, Hunts. Oh, so you're the guys who've been after the Blue Serge suits.
Walk him off the road, Hunts.
Yeah, what if a car came by, me in my hand-painted shorts?
Get him off far enough so they won't find him right away. Move!
Oh, now look.
You heard him.
Yeah, I sure did.
Before we continue with Richard Diamond, Private Detective, here's an important question.
How mild can a cigarette be?
There's one sensible way to find out. It's not just a sniff, not just a puff, but steady smoking. For only then can you find out how well a cigarette agrees with your throat day in and day out.
In a coast-to-coast test, hundreds of people smoked only Camels for 30 days. Each week, their throats were examined by noted throat specialists who reported not one single case of throat irritation due to smoking Camels.
Make your own 30-day Camel test. Enjoy the rich, full flavor of Camel's costly tobaccos for 30 days and find out just how mild a cigarette can be, how mild Camels are, pack after pack, week after week. It's the sensible, thorough test, a test that will pay off in years of smoking enjoyment. You'll discover why so many people say, once a Camel smoker, always a Camel smoker.
How mild, how mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test and you'll see. Smoke Camels and see.
And now back to Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell.
I kept walking with Hunts right behind me, his big gun pointed to the middle of my back. I could stand losing my clothes, but I'd grown to enjoy my life. So I decided I'd have to get that gun away from Hunt somehow. We were 50 yards from the road when I tried it.
Give me that gun! Come on, give it to me!
I guess you didn't hear what I said. Hunts had tried his best to put a hole in me, but like most guys who think they've got a sure thing, he forgot a small item called luck. In this case, all of it on my side. I left him lying on his face in the moonlight and headed back for the car. But the other gunsel evidently saw my white shorts bounding over the landscape and decided it was time to leave. I tried a shot at him and then went back to find Hunts and borrow a pair of pants. Sometimes when things happen that fast, a guy gets careless. Now, I'd figured Hunts, being wounded, would be in the same spot I left him. But when I got back to the spot, the one-sentence killer was nowhere in sight. Somewhere in the distance, I heard a branch snap, so I knew that Hunts was on his way back home. I was getting too cold in my undies to start chasing him, so I went back to the road and walked until I spotted a house. Any other time, I would have considered carefully before walking up to a front door attired only in my underwear. Thank goodness they weren't blue serge. I figured I could say I was a cross-country runner with a bad sense of direction. I rang the doorbell and waited.
Yes?
Could I use your phone? Oh, shut up, Walt.
Boy, did you look silly when they dragged you in here.
Oh, I don't know. Otis thought it was a burlesque raid and asked me for a date.
Would you mind telling me what you were doing running around like that?
Well, that woman's husband was chasing me. What did you think I was doing?
Well, you can't blame the old man for chasing you. You scared his wife right out of her wig. Now, why don't you tell me what this is all about?
Because I don't know.
Well, how'd you lose your clothes?
Let me make a phone call and I'll tell you all about it. I put in a call to David Barr and asked him to meet me at the store. Then I briefed Walt on everything up to date. Walt said,
"Are you nuts?"
And I left before I had to lie. I went back to my apartment, climbed back into the only suit I had left, and 20 minutes later, I was standing in David Barr's shop on Madison Avenue. I explained the events of the last couple of hours, and Mr. Barr said,
"Disgusting."
You bet.
I just can't understand it.
Move over.
Don't you have any theories at all?
Well, vague ones. That blue suit that you gave me. Tell me about it.
The material was originally ordered for a customer who failed to show up, so I had it made up for me.
Where did you get your cloth?
Black and Winterfield. Although I'm certain you've never enjoyed the benefit of their merchandise, you must have heard of them.
What customer was the material ordered for originally?
Oh, not one of my steady customers. He left a deposit.
Well, what was his name?
Kingsley. Leonard Kingsley, a small man with a preposterous stomach. I had to order 4 yards.
Well, that's Mr. Kingsley. He's never called or gotten in touch with you?
No. So needing another blue suit, I use the material for myself. If he comes in, I can always order more material.
Didn't you take his measurements?
He was in a hurry. He picked out the serge from the book, gave me a deposit, and told me he'd be back that afternoon for the measurements. That was over a month ago. What are you driving at, Diamond?
How do I know? I'm just fishing. The whole thing has got something to do with blue serge material in that blue suit.
You're getting disgustingly repetitious. I suppose you're going to tell me this Kingsley sent 2 hired killers to steal my goods because he thought it was easier than coming in for a fitting.
I don't know. Where's your phone?
On the desk. It's the only thing in the whole shop that looks anything like a phone. Honestly.
I got more of a description of Leonard Kingsley and put in a call to Walt at the precinct. I gave him the information, asked him to run a check. Then I said goodnight to Mr. Barr and settled back in a chair to guard the store. I'd been sleeping about an hour when Walt called back.
What do you know about this Leonard Kingsley, Diamond?
Oh, now, there's a brilliant question. Why do you think I called you up? I don't know anything. I want to find out.
Well, where did you hear about him?
From my client?
That bar guy you told me about?
That's right. This Leonard Kingsley came into his store, ordered a suit, never came back.
That was because he couldn't.
Come back?
Yeah. About a month ago, this Leonard Kingsley was killed in a car accident. Stepped off the curb and a car hit him.
You sure it was an accident?
Yep. Woman hit him. There was an inquest. Witnesses say it was all Kingsley's fault.
All right. What's the rest?
Rest?
Oh, stop with the Little Red Riding Hood. Something's up.
Well, this is confidential, Rick.
Well, it'll stay that way.
The FBI have got a share in this thing.
What?
It seems that when a check was run to find Kingsley's home and relatives, all of the credentials he had on him turned out to be phonies, particularly his passport.
What did the feds find out?
Kingsley was from one of the Iron Curtain countries. Espionage.
All right. Well, Paul Revere with a shoulder holster.
I want some answers, Mr. Barr. How many customers can you remember who came into your shop and ordered only one suit in the last year?
Half a dozen.
How many never came back after they got the one suit? Well, what's the matter?
That's peculiar. Everyone I can remember, and they're comparatively easy because most of my customers are steady.
Go on. What about these single customers?
Every one of them ordered a blue serge.
And you got all the material from Black & Winterfield?
Yes.
The whole thing was beginning to make sense. What better way of getting information out of the country than in the material of a suit? I dragged Barr down to the store again, got the names of all his single customers who had ordered blue serge suits. Then I went over to the 5th Precinct and had Walt make a check on them. 2 hours later, the U.S. Customs Department sent in an interesting teletype.
Rick, every one of those guys have left the country and hasn't returned.
And 8 to 5, the FBI can find out plenty. Well, give them the information. Let's go over to Black & Winterfield. I want to take a look at that store. See if I can find out how anyone can hide any kind of information in 3.5 yards of blue serge.
There it is. Dark.
Yep, come on.
What do you think you're going to do?
Well, we're going in that store and take a look around.
You can't do that. Not without a warrant.
All right, Fatty, just so you won't disgrace that lovely badge, I'll go in first, and you can come in and arrest me for breaking and entering.
Now, Rick, you wait a minute.
Walt, they know I got away. We can't wait. Hey.
What's the matter? What are you looking at?
That car in the alley.
What about it?
Looks like the one those two killers took me for a ride in. Come on.
Well?
Looks like it. Wait a minute, I took a shot at it, and maybe I can...
Wait, I'll light a match.
Uh-huh. Yes, sir, here it is. Nice little bullet hole.
Well, I
think one of my little headhunters is in that building. Still want to get a warrant?
Let's go. How are we going to get in?
Oh, you'll figure something out. You're really a second-story man at heart.
Rick, wait a minute.
What is it?
Look at this. Isn't it blood?
Looks like both of them are here. Leads right in the door.
Locked.
Let's go around back. We ducked around back and spent the next 10 minutes jimmying the window. And Walt couldn't have been more professional if he'd done time in Sing Sing. He jammed it without a sound and knew just how to disconnect the alarm. We squeezed through and dropped to the floor. We were in a basement, and from somewhere in another part of the building, we could hear a radio playing softly. We went up the steps to the first floor and stopped to listen. The radio was to our left, down a long corridor. We stayed against the wall and edged our way toward a door at the end of the hall. A thin strip of light showed at the crack, and we moved up and listened, holding our breath.
How you feeling, Hunts? Well, try and take it easy. And the boss is coming with the doc.
They're both in there.
Let's take them.
Hold it.
Music making you feel better, huh?
No, Gabe.
Well, you want something better, maybe? Artie Shaw pick you up, maybe?
No, turn it off.
Okay. Don't you worry. I'll get that shamus for shooting you. And the boss will be real happy when he sees we got the suit.
Okay, let's take them, Walt.
Look out behind you, Rick!
happened so fast there wasn't any time to think. Suddenly, there were two men standing behind us in the hall. By the time the smoke cleared, both of them were down, and Walt and I were shaking like a hula dancer with a hot foot. Then, before we could catch our breath, Gabe came running out.
I'll get him, Rick.
No, I'll get him. You go in and take care of the wounded one. Walt went in after Hunts, and I took off after the other. I caught him just as he dove through the front door. Hold it!
Okay. I'm bleeding.
All right. Let's have it.
I'm bleeding. Get a doctor.
The ambulance is on the way. Now tell us about it.
What do you want to know?
We want to know about the suits and about the material, and who the guys are in the hall.
One of them's a doctor for Hunts here. The other one's the boss. He runs the store.
You were getting information out of the country and the Blue Surge material.
Yeah.
What kind of information?
All kinds. Defense plans, radar locations, that kind of stuff. Done all in code numbers.
How did they do it?
Stuff was invisible like. Just drew it on the Blue Surge. When the guy got out of the country, he'd take the suit and dip it in something. Then the writing come out.
And when Kingsley got hit by the car, you found out he didn't have the suit.
The boss did. How about it, Hunts? How do you feel?
Why did you swipe my suit?
We was tailing bar. Saw him going to your office. Figured maybe he'd give you the suit.
Well, there it is, Rick.
How about it, Hunts? Your partner telling the truth?
You heard him.
Dick Powell will return in just a minute.
What cigarette do you smoke, Doctor?
Again, a study has been made. Again, this question was asked of doctors all over the country and in every branch of medicine.
The brand named most was Camel. Yes, again and again, surveys show that more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette.
Friends, smoke Camels for 30 days, and you'll see how mild, how flavorful, how thoroughly enjoyable a cigarette can be.
And say, how about giving a carton of Camels for Valentine's Day? Makes a swell gift.
How mild can a cigarette be? Make the Camel 30-day test, and you'll see. Smoke Camel and see.
Here's Dick Powell with a special message.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, each week for many years, the makers of Camels have been sending gift cigarettes to hospitalized servicemen and veterans in this country. Now, gift Camels are also being sent to hospitals overseas. This week's shipping list includes U.S. Naval Hospital, Yokosuka, Japan. Camels are also on their way to Veterans Hospital, Coatesville, Pennsylvania, and Fort Howard, Maryland. U.S. Air Force Hospital, Lackland Air Force Base, San Antonio, Texas. Now, until next week, enjoy Camels. I always do.
Dick Powell can soon be seen in his new RKO picture, Cry Danger. Tonight's adventure of Richard Diamond was written by Blake Edwards with music by Frank Worth. Our director is Helen Mack. Featured in the cast were Virginia Gregg, Wilms Herbert, and Arthur Q. Bryan.
PA stands for two things, Pipe Appeal and Prince Albert. They go hand in hand. For Prince Albert's Choice Tobacco has a rich flavor and a delightful natural aroma. PA is crimped cut for smooth, even burning, and it's specially treated to ensure against tongue bite. Get Prince Albert, the National Joy Smoke, America's largest selling smoking tobacco.
Listen next week for another exciting transcribed adventure of Richard Diamond, starring Dick Powell. This is Your FBI. The official broadcast from the files of the FBI follows immediately. Stay tuned. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the American Broadcasting Company.
National Broadcasting Company presents Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, private detective.
Mr. Diamond, the reason you're here is because I want someone to talk to the mayor. I don't know whether it was explained to you or not, but unless His Honor has done away with himself by noon, a lot of people are going to get hurt.
Including yourself.
Oh, that doesn't really matter. You see, in making my escape, a guard attempted to stop me. I had to kill him.
Here's another exciting half hour with Richard Diamond, private detective, starring Dick Powell.
Diamond Detective Agency, there's no corpse like an old corpse.
Oh, Rick, that's awful.
Yeah, but what am I going to do? I can't be witty and handsome at the same time.
Well, don't be greedy. Just concentrate on one of them.
Oh, you're pretty nothing today.
Why don't you come on over and we'll both try and improve?
Shame on you. You know I've got to work.
Oh, have you got a client?
Well, not yet, but I've set bear traps all the way down the hall.
Well, now that's silly. How can you be sure you'll catch a client?
Well, I can't be, but, I get so lonesome up here with no one to talk to. It's fun setting broken legs.
You're impossible.
Diamond.
Oh, my gosh.
What's wrong, Rick?
Those traps. I think I've caught something terrible.
Diamond, I gotta talk to you.
Who is it, Rick?
Sergeant Otis says he's got to talk to me, but I'll be darned if I'll teach him how.
Oh, say hello for me.
Helen says hello, Otis.
Tell her hello, then get off the phone. This is serious.
Hey, what's with you? Somebody steal your catnip?
Can't just stop being funny, Shamus. I mean it. This is serious.
Helen, I'll call you back.
Why, something wrong?
Well, Otis looks worried, and he's making sense for the first time in 11 years.
Oh, well, call me later and tell me about it. Bye.
Bye. Now, Sergeant, what's on your pretty
I want you to come down to the station with me in a hurry.
Of course, you'll think this is a silly question, but why?
You remember Louis Spence?
Louis Spence?
About 4 years ago. Caught him running around sticking dynamite under the homes of some of our city officials.
Oh, yeah. Socialistic nut. Put him away, didn't they?
Yeah, crazy as they come. Well, he's out.
What do you mean he's out? If they cured his head, he'd still face a lot of years up the river.
Oh, he ain't cured. Not a bit he ain't cured.
You mean he busted out?
Yesterday. Now, do me a favor and come on down to the station.
Oh, wait a minute, and take it easy. What's going down to the station got to do with Louis Spence?
He's down there with the lieutenant.
Well, great. Put them both in fancy jackets and send them home.
We can't. He walked in 20 minutes ago and asked to see the lieutenant. I didn't recognize him, so I let him in. Now we can't get him out.
Well, why the devil can't you?
He won't let us in, and he won't let the lieutenant out. He's sitting there holding a big bomb, and it's ready to go off.
Well, it looks like a convention.
Everyone's trying to think of something to do.
Why is Spence doing this? What's he going to do? Just sit in there?
You'll really get a boot out of this, Shamus. If the mayor don't jump off the top of the city hall by noon, Spence blows up the whole 5th precinct.
What?
That's right.
Hey, Otis, get Diamond in there. It's 11 o'clock.
Hello, Charlie.
Hello, Rick.
What do you mean, get me in there?
Didn't you tell him, Otis?
No, I ain't had time.
Well, come on. Why me? What do you want me in there for?
Spence wants someone Levinson can give direction to. He says no cop. Levinson buzzed out and told us to get hold of you.
Okay.
Wait a minute. Talk to the lieutenant on the intercom. Spence won't know who's walking through the door and maybe blow the whole joint up.
Otis, you amaze me.
Oh, I ain't so smart. It was Spence's idea. Come on. Here. Go ahead.
Walt?
Rick?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Diamond's outside now.
Okay. Tell him to come in. But just him. Anyone else?
Okay. Rick, come on in, but no one else.
All right. Otis, stick right here. I may want to talk to you.
Sure. Diamond.
Yeah?
Nothing.
You're so right.
Hello, Rick.
Walt?
This is Mr. Lou Spence, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
How are you, Mr. Diamond?
What's the matter, Spence? You want an early 4th of July?
Rick.
You think I'm kidding, Mr. Diamond? You think I'm not serious about this thing?
Is that the bomb?
Right here in my lap.
He's got it rigged so it goes off the minute he relaxes his hand.
You see, I thought maybe the police would want to take it away from me. If you shoot me, try to knock me out, well, it goes off.
Then you won't mind if I take a look, huh?
Rick, please.
Stay right where you are.
and I'll stay over here.
Well, just as you say, Mr. Spence.
Mr. Diamond, the reason you're here is because I want someone to talk to the mayor. I don't know whether it was explained to you or not, but unless His Honor has done away with himself by noon, a lot of people are going to get hurt.
Including yourself.
Oh, that doesn't really matter. You see, in making my escape, a guard attempted to stop me. I had to kill him.
He split his head open with a crowbar.
That's right.
Oh, mind if I sit down?
Not at all. But it's 4 minutes after 11. I hope you don't plan on staying too long.
Cigarette?
No, thank you.
You look like a pretty reasonable guy, Spence.
Well, thank you. It's too bad Lieutenant Levinson didn't think so when they arrested me. Now I'm going to have to show him I'm not as insane as he thought I was.
Oh, well, you'll have to excuse that, Spence. Walt thinks everybody's a little, well, you know, even me.
That's very interesting.
Oh, and with good reason. Ever take a look at his sergeant?
Mr. Diamond, when the lieutenant arrested me, I was putting an explosive under the mayor's house. He stopped me in my first attempt to rid the community of a political Judas. But now, as you see, I have a second chance.
You really think the mayor's going to jump off the city hall?
He better. And by 12 o'clock. By the way, you have 55 minutes.
Now, look, Spence.
Forget it, Mr. Diamond. I know just what you're thinking. How to get me without the bomb going off. You'll never make it. It's too well thought out. I've planned this for 4 years.
In case you're wondering how much dynamite he's got, Rick.
Mr. Diamond needs convincing. Well, under this overcoat, Mr. Diamond, are some 100 sticks.
Does the mayor know about it yet?
Yeah.
Oh, you want me to talk to him, huh?
I don't care whether you talk to him or not. I just want you to be there when he jumps.
Swell.
And just because you come back and tell me he's jumped, that isn't enough. I want his body in this room.
Walt, I don't know what to say.
Don't say anything, Rick. Just get out of here. I'm sorry I dragged you over, but I needed time.
You still do. It's 54 minutes to 12.
Clear the building, Rick.
Yes, do that, Mr. Diamond. I think the lieutenant is going to make a hero of himself.
Look, Spence, I've got till 12 o'clock, haven't I?
Unless someone tries to get me.
Oh, good. Well, then sit tight, Walt, and give me till 12.
Okay, Rick.
I hope you spend the time wisely. I'm sure you'd rather see the mayor die than your best friend.
Oh, Spence, if you forget about this, they'll probably just put you back...
Goodbye, Mr. Diamond. 53 minutes.
Okay. Walt?
Go ahead, Rick. Like you said, 53 minutes.
Goodbye, Mr. Diamond. Come back soon.
Otis.
Yeah? What's going to happen?
Clear the building.
Well, what about it, Rick?
Lieutenant wants the building cleared.
Okay, come on, you guys. Levinson says clear the building, so we'll clear the building. Good luck, Rick.
Thanks, Charlie.
Okay, what do we do?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know? It's 10 minutes after 11. In another 50 minutes, this whole building is going to get blown higher than a kite.
Okay, do something.
Huh?
Well, go ahead.
Well,
You see, Otis, you're in just as tough a spot as I am.
Yeah, but you're smarter than I am. You can usually come up with something.
Well, usually my problems are a puzzle, Otis. Spencer's a problem and a puzzle. I don't know about guys like him.
Well, for Pete's sake, who does?
Well, that's an idea.
Huh?
Stay here and keep close to the intercom. Don't let the lieutenant get any crazy ideas.
Hey, wait a minute. Where you going? You're acting screwy.
Well, Otis, I'm going to go see someone who takes care of people who act screwy sometimes. Well, that's the story, George. You're a psychiatrist. What do I do now?
Well, we solved your problem with that little blonde dancer in Flatbush. Maybe we can do something about this. Of course, she didn't have 100 sticks of dynamite.
Oh, she didn't, huh? What do you think I talked about for 6 weeks on that couch over there? Look, George, this isn't anything like that. This is a real mess.
Now, Rick, take it easy. It's only a mess because you're used to working with something that has a pattern. Maybe not at first, but you know there's one there and you set out and find it. But with Spence, you feel there's no pattern.
Oh, there's a pattern, George. Just wait for 38 minutes, then duck.
There's no possible way to get the bomb away from him without it going off?
Not the way he tells it. He only has to relax his hand.
That's the way he tells it.
Well, I'm not going to take the chance and call him a liar. If I only knew for sure just how that bomb worked, I could reason with him.
Well, before you can reason with him, you've got to know something about him. And what do you know about Louis Spence?
Arrested a couple of years ago for planting dynamite under the homes of some of our more prominent city officials. Found insane, sent to the state asylum, killed a guard, broke out, turned himself into a human bomb, and took a seat in the 5th Precinct police station.
That's all?
Well, isn't that enough?
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick. I know Dr. Carroll at the state asylum. Suppose we give him a call and see what we can find out.
You think it'll help?
I don't know. It might.
Long distance.
Operator, this is an emergency. This is Dr. George Thacker, and I want to speak to Dr. Robert Carroll at the state asylum immediately.
What was the name again?
Dr. Robert Carroll.
One moment, please.
It'll be a minute, Rick. What time is it?
25 after. You got another phone here, George?
Yes, I've got several lines in the other office.
Good, I'll make a call. Let me know when you get Dr. Carroll on the line.
Operator, would you please hurry? I hate the use of the expression, but this is a matter of life and death. You're on my line, Rick. Use the other phone.
Yeah?
Otis?
Yeah. Where the devil are you? It's almost 11:30.
You talked to the lieutenant since I left?
Yeah, once. He wanted me to get out of the building.
Now, you just stay put until I get there. I don't want Walt to try anything stupid.
Yeah, well, I want to know what you're doing.
I'm trying to get an idea, Otis. Just one little idea.
Trying to get an idea? I suppose you've been spending the last 20 minutes sitting in Central Park waiting for one to come to you.
Rick, come in here and pick up the other phone. I've got Dr. Carroll on the line.
Bye, Otis.
I've explained the situation to him. I won't interrupt unless I think it's necessary.
Fine. Hello, Dr. Carroll?
Mr. Diamond?
That's right. Now, Doctor, I really don't know what good this is going to do, but tell me everything you know about Louis Spence and as fast as possible.
Well, first of all, he's an aggressive paranoic with homicidal tendencies.
Mm-hmm.
He feels persecuted by society, or rather by those who help to govern society.
Why does he feel this way?
He believes in a great many things, all of which he thinks himself capable of achieving. Paranoics are frustrated to a point where they perhaps imagine themselves as capable artists or great scholars, such as in the case of Louis Spence, society being his Judas-goat.
Pardon me for interrupting, Bob, but don't you think Spence is capable of doing this sort of thing?
Oh, absolutely, George. You see, he's doing this whole thing purely because he enjoys the agony of it, but he's nonetheless ashamed.
But what about the mayor jumping off the city hall, Doctor? Just to be ridiculous for the moment, what if His Honor did jump? Would Spence then give up the bomb?
I doubt it. If the mayor jumped, it would give Spence a certain amount of satisfaction. But I still think he'd set the bomb off as a climax to his own cleverness and persecution.
Pardon again, Bob. Any usual therapy that you used on Spence?
Yes, as a matter of fact. Spence, as I've said, imagined himself a great talent. And he seemed to lean particularly toward the more artistic accomplishments, such as painting and music. In his quieter moments, we saw that he had a radio.
How does this music affect him, Bob?
He allows it to lull him into a sense of security. Sometimes even believes he's written it. You see, Mr. Diamond, he believes that his environment is against him, that it is trying to debase, degrade, and persecute him. He fights off any acts of moral turpitude by becoming the thing he imagined.
Oh, I hate to break it up, boys, but it's 25 minutes to 12. I've got to leave. Thank you, Doctor.
I hope I've been some help.
Well, you've given me an idea anyway. Goodbye. Miss.
Just a minute, just 1 minute. I'll be right with you.
Oh, look, I'm in a hurry.
So you're in a hurry, so's everybody else. You'll have to wait until I'm through with this gentleman.
Sweetheart.
Now look.
You look.
Oh, a badge.
Yeah, no, this is police business. Got to be in a hurry. Is that clock right?
Yeah, it's 11:45.
16 minutes to.
All right, 16 minutes. You want to split hairs?
No, I want a portable phonograph and quick.
Okay. Here's one right here on the counter. 3 speeds, interchanging.
I'll take it.
Okay, I'll go back to the storeroom and get you a new one.
Forget it. I'll take this one.
Look, mister, we got a policy here. I can't say you nothing off from the counter, supposing it don't work when you get it home.
You'll hear about it?
You see? That's just what I mean.
Well, does it play now?
Certainly, like everything. Listen. Oh, boy, that's Pete Rugelow's new arrangement. He's crazy.
Okay.
Don't dig it, huh?
Give me a record by Debussy or Ravel.
Oh, no wonder. Well, let's see. We got the Engulfed Cathedral by Debussy.
No, something with a little more excitement.
All right. I'll read him off. The Boosie or Ravel?
Ravel.
La Waltz, I guess. And we got Bolero.
I'll take it.
Which one?
The Bolero.
Okay. I'll have to play it for you.
I've heard it.
So what? It's another policy of the store. There might be an imperfection.
Give me
on-
the record.
Hey, don't get so grabby.
Now, look, dear. You want me to have you locked up for obstructing justice?
Huh?
Well, unless you give me that record and this machine, this one right here, I'm going to snap the cuffs on you and haul you down to headquarters.
Oh.
You want me to do that?
Well, you can't.
All right. What's your name?
Well, take the machine and the record.
Thanks. And charge it to Lieutenant Walter Levinson, 5th Precinct, Homicide Division. If it works, you get paid. If it doesn't, don't even bother sending over a repairman.
Diamond, oh my gosh, do you know what time it is?
What, exactly?
Exactly 6 minutes, too. What the devil you got there?
A photograph.
A phonograph?
You talked to Walt since I left?
No. Now, what's the idea with a phonograph?
Hunch, Otis. Maybe we can save this whole mess.
Well, for Pete's sake, can I help?
Sure you can, Otis. Now, take this machine in the other room and play this record. You know how it works?
Well, I can find out.
You got less than 5 minutes to find out, so make it good. I don't want to hear anything until you're ready to let it play all the way through.
Okay. Diamond.
Yeah, go on.
Whatever you're going to do, if I louse it up, I louse up everything, huh?
You won't louse it up, Otis.
Oh, I'm so stupid, but I'll try.
Otis.
Yeah?
You don't have to wind it. Just plug it in.
Oh, yeah, I heard about them kind.
All right, then get going.
Okay.
Yeah? Walt, it's Diamond.
What's up?
Careful, Lieutenant.
Oh, I'm getting sick of this.
Walt.
Yeah?
Relax. I want to come in.
How about it, Spence?
By all means. Have Mr. Diamond come in.
All right, Rick.
You have some news for me, Mr. Diamond?
Well, in a way, yes. Mind if I sit down?
Not at all.
How do you feel, Walt?
Dandy.
I'm afraid the Lieutenant is growing uncomfortable. It is getting late, isn't it, Lieutenant?
Rick, I want you out of this building. This crackpot has been going...
Oh, wait a minute now.
What did you
wait
call
a minute.
me?
Now, look, I've taken
what
enough...
What does it make now at 12 o'clock?
Well, sure it does.
Why?
Because the mayor may jump.
What?
Yes, he's locked himself in his office. They can't get him out. He just may jump.
Really, Mr. Diamond?
Well, what's the matter?
I know the mayor won't jump, no matter how many people die when I release this trigger. I just want him to have to face it the rest of his life. I want everyone like me that his kind won't let fulfill their potential talents to realize what a Judas he really is. What all men like him really are.
Well, you know, that makes sense.
Don't try to get on the good side of me, Mr. Diamond. I know what you think about me. I know what you all think. It doesn't make good sense to you or anyone else. How could it? You don't understand those of us who have a truly great talent.
Well, I'll buy that. I don't understand it.
Of course not.
Well, maybe he doesn't, Spence, but how do you know? Maybe I do.
Stop playing, Mr. Diamond. Look at the time. 5 minutes. 5 minutes and I become a martyr. We'll all get blown to kingdom come.
Rick, get out of here.
All right, Spence, I'm going to prove you're wrong.
Rick, for the love of...
Shut up, Walt.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Diamond. What are you going to prove?
I'm going to prove that I know more about you than you think.
Of course you know a lot about me. Criminals have records.
Oh, I don't mean that. I mean more about yourself. What you think, your talents.
What do I think, Mr. Diamond? You fool. How could you know what I think?
Because a talent like yours is easy to spot.
4 minutes, Mr. Diamond.
No, it's not hard to tell about people like you.
People like me? What about people like me?
Well, Spence, I meant that, well, there are not many of them. They're few and far between. They're gifted.
What?
Certainly. There's something you have that very few are lucky enough to be gifted with.
Rick, please.
Nearly 12, Mr. Diamond.
I can tell that you are an artist, Spence.
An artist?
Yes, and a very good one.
How do you know this?
Very few people spot it. Do they, Spence?
Very few. You surprise me, Mr. Diamond.
He surprises me, too.
Walt, keep quiet.
Yes, Walt, keep quiet. It's 2 minutes to 12, Mr. Diamond. You can leave because maybe you have been honest with me. Perhaps you do recognize something that...
What's the matter, Spence?
Music.
Music? I don't hear anything.
Music. Beautiful music.
Well, I don't hear a thing, Spence. Do you, Walt? No?
Oh, you must hear it. It's beautiful. Don't you hear that wonderful rhythm?
Now, you see, Spence, we're not as lucky as you are.
No one is. This is my music. This is what I would write if it wasn't for the people who won't let me.
What does the music sound like?
Oh, poet's words. The power and strength of death.
It makes you imagine things, doesn't it?
Yes, oh, yes.
You hear the music and you become powerful. Like making that bomb. Not just anybody could think of that. It takes genius.
You understand. You do understand.
Well, of course I do, but I'm still amazed. There you sit with the power of life and death in your hands, and no one can do a thing. It must be wonderful.
It is. Like the music, it's wonderful. In seconds, we'll all be torn from our earthly bonds, taken away from this dirty, filthy world to a place of clean, wonderful things like that music.
Oh, but you're an artist. How could you ever take a thing like that bomb and put it together?
A thing like this bomb? Oh, this is a masterpiece.
Just looks like a small box to me.
Oh, it took me weeks. Just a small box. Oh, no, you see, if my finger relaxes...
Yeah, I know about that.
But this took genius. It's not just relaxing my finger. It's how I put it together so as to get the required result. It's like the hammer action on a gun, but it's reversed.
Well, I'll be darned. You mean when you release your finger, that makes the hammer fall?
I can see you appreciate things of genius. I wish you could hear the music, too, Mr. Diamond. You'd really appreciate that. It's so wonderful.
Well, tell me more about the bomb. When you release your finger and the hammer falls, what does it hit?
Well, that's a simple part. I'm surprised at you.
I just wanted to hear you tell me. After all, you invented it.
Yes. It strikes a cap. It's that simple. Simplicity can be beautiful. Don't you agree?
Absolutely.
Listen to that music. It builds and builds.
Tell me, Spence, what would happen if something got in the way of the hammer? I mean, between the hammer and the cap.
Nothing can. There's nothing big enough in the box that the hammer wouldn't tear right through. Simplicity, Mr. Diamond.
I'd sure like to take a look at it.
Of course. There's nothing you can do. So by all means, look.
Well, you've got glass over the end of the box.
That's right. See my finger on the trigger? If I release it, that hammer falls and strikes that cap.
Why the glass?
So I could look in when I set it and see that everything was all right.
Oh, that's very clever.
That music is getting so big, I can't think. What time is it?
Plenty of time, Spence.
Yes. When the music finishes.
It's nearly done now.
I thought you said you couldn't hear it.
It's a phonograph from the other room, Spence.
What?
Tell me, Spence, what happens if I jam my hand through that glass between the hammer and the cap?
What? That music! That music!
Grab him, Walt, grab him.
Let me go! Let me go! I don't understand. You cheated. You did lie. Let me go!
Well, that does it. Otis, take him away.
With pleasure.
And you, Rick.
Yeah?
How'd you know that music would work? How'd you know you could stop that hammer? How'd you know you wouldn't... Oh. Did you hurt your hand?
Well, of all the...
Well, did you?
No.
Well, all right.
You just bet it is. Goodbye. Hi.
Rick, what are you doing here?
Well, now, that's nice. Stop by my place some afternoon and see what kind of a welcome you get.
Oh, I didn't mean that. I meant, what are you doing here so early?
Well, things were getting boring. I thought I might come over and beat you up or something.
Oh, now isn't that sweet? Oh, Rick, what in the world have you...
Oh, the hand? Oh, it's nothing.
I know, Red Heart, but what did you do to it?
Well, I kind of hurt it.
Yes, I can see that, but how?
Playing the piano.
Oh, how could you hurt your hand playing the piano?
Well, you know how I live my songs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, truthfully, I was singing The Brother of the Wild Goose, and I got to that part about a wandering foot or a heart at rest, and while I was trying to make up my mind, my heart was resting, but my foot wandered up on the keyboard and stepped on my hand.
on your
Yeah,
hand.
that's exactly what happened, yeah.
Well, I think you've got that bandage on just so you won't have to sing anything.
Honey, have you ever seen me not want to sing?
Well, sometimes it's a struggle.
I don't even know whether I can play or not.
Well, why don't you find out?
After lunch.
Before lunch.
Before lunch. Well, maybe I don't need that finger.
Go on.
Love is a flower that blooms so tender, each kiss a dewdrop of sweet surrender. Love is a moment of life enchanting. Let's take that moment that tonight is granting. There's no tomorrow when love is new. Now is forever when love is true. So kiss me and hold me tight. There's no tomorrow. There's just tonight.
You like that?
Oh, so pretty.
Well, thank you.
Oh, that reminds me. We're having spaghetti for lunch.
Oh, good.
So kiss me and hold me tight. There's no tomorrow. There's just tonight.
That was nice. Now tell me, how did you hurt your hand?
Simple. I was grabbing.
Grabbing?
Mm-hmm. Like this. Come here.
Oh, Rick.
Oh, of all times. Hello?
Hello?
Walt?
Yeah, I just thought I'd call and...
Oh, you did you? Well, you sure picked a nifty time to do it.
Oh, did I bust up something?
Yes, you did bust up something.
Well, you don't have to get sore.
Well, who's sore?
I am. That's the last time I let you do me any favor.
Okay. If that's the way you feel about it, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, what in the world was all that about?
Oh, well, honey, you see, it's like this. Walt got in some trouble, and I helped him out of it. No, you see, I don't want him to feel obligated. But, well, that's not actually it. He doesn't want me to know how he really feels. What am I trying to explain it for? I don't understand it myself.
You have just heard Richard Diamond, Private Detective, starring Dick Powell. Ed Begley played Lieutenant Walt Levinson. Also in the cast were Wilms Herbert, Francis Robinson, Stanley Waxman, Cynthia Corley, and Paul DeBob. Music was under the direction of Frank Worth. Today's show was written by Blake Edwards and directed by Russell Hughes. Dick Powell currently may be seen in the motion picture version of the best-selling novel, Mrs. Mike. This is Eddie King inviting you to be with us next Sunday at this same time, when we will again bring you Dick Powell as Richard Diamond, Private Detective. There's more great listening in store for you today on NBC. You'll hear the hilarious Phil Harris and Alice Faye show. And this evening on Theater Guild on the Air, Gertrude Lawrence and MacDonald Carey will star in Lady in the Dark. Next, hear guest star Deborah Alden on The Harvest of Stars on NBC.